Many came to rest upon my crown and enjoy the sights I have known so well. I do not fully understand humans, yet we share a destiny with an ending still to be written. I've hope in knowing that, like me, there is more to them than meets the eye.
Good morning, television family. Let's get going, shall we, on what's going to be a very busy Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz. Thursday, 29th day of June, 2023. Right out of the box, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a little punky. Had dinner with some family last night at my sister's house. Turkey, corn on the cob, couple glasses of Chuck Egner's wine. Got home past my bedtime, turned on the TV, and by golly, Domingo Germán is throwing a perfect game for my Yankees. I'm a Yankee. You know that. If you watch the show, you know I'm a Yankee. I make no apologies for it. I've been a Yankee fan since I was 7, so get over it. But anyway, so I had to watch that, and then the post-game show, and then I didn't get my usual 12 and a half hours of sleep last night, so bear with me. It is very mild. It's 72 degrees. We're going to be into the 90s today. And for the extended forecast period, things are looking a little dicey on Saturday. They have a fire weather watch on Saturday because they're going to have that combination of 3 things that has to happen for the National Weather Service to post a fire weather watch, and they have done so. We'll get to that with the forecast details, but get ready for some very warm temperatures. Mariners, they lost 2 of 3 to a team that isn't very good. You got to start thinking that maybe the Mariners aren't very good. Apple Sox won in dramatic fashion. We'll have highlights of all of those games, plus last night's perfect game. We'll have that as well. In the back half of the program, Kylie Boggs, the head pyrotechnic lady. Kylie is in charge of the fireworks display that you're going to be able to see all over the valley next Tuesday. We always visit with Kylie to talk about this year's fireworks show. We'll have that for you as well. And, of course, it's Thursday. Pause for Pets. Hugh the dog needs a home. In fact, a lot of dogs need homes. We'll talk about that when we get to visit with our friends at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Let's go. 2 minutes after the hour. We're going to cram a lot of show in, so let's do it. This scenario happens every once in a while. We have 5 pounds worth of programming in a 4-pound bag to put it in, but we'll see what we can do. Good morning to the valley proper. Sunrise this morning, 5:07. Sunset tonight, 9:01. That will be the same tomorrow, and we'll start losing by about 15 seconds a day. Daylight, nothing we can't handle. 89 was our high yesterday, normal high 82. It's going to feel mild compared to what's coming our way. Camera 2, it's off to Billy Goat. Good morning to the Okanagan, Omak, Pateros, Brewster, Bridgeport, Riverside, Tonasket area. Alta Lake in your lower right-hand corner of your screen. Looks like they have a few more high clouds up there. It's been a couple of degrees warmer in Omak than it has been in the Wenatchee Valley. That's been prone to happen. And speaking of hot, today is the 2-year anniversary of June 29th, 2021, when our overnight low was 79 and our afternoon high was 114 in the Wenatchee Valley, the warmest temperature ever recorded since they started keeping track of these things in 1931. You remember that day 2 years ago? We were living in a blast furnace. It's not going to be that hot today. Lake Wenatchee, one of my favorite cameras because it's just a stunning view. There it is, all of the lake is in view today. You can see a little sliver of Fish Lake in the upper right-hand corner. You can also see the airstrip that they have up there. That's where the little green spot is in the upper right-hand corner. That's where they can fly planes in. Good morning to our friends at Lake Wenatchee. If you want to cool off a little bit, you might want to head up there. It's always beautiful. And speaking of beautiful, the Omi Gardens camera. Omi Gardens, by the way, has a big wing ding coming up on Sunday, July 9th. We'll talk about that when we get close to it. The Glad Song Choir is going to be singing up there. It's a fundraiser for the Friends of Omi Garden. Check that out. It'll be a lot of fun. Good morning to the north end of town. Stemmilt in the lower right-hand corner and the Otobashian Bridge. Traffic is going smooth. So a fire weather watch is up and running for Saturday. The three things that has to happen: strong winds, bone dry relative humidity, and high temperatures. Now, we're going to be under the influence of a high-pressure ridge. It begins today, and this high-pressure ridge is going to be covering almost the entire western part of the United States, but we're going to be in the very upper part of the high-pressure ridge, so we're going to be right on the northern lip of it, which means there will be a little bit of system, just a weak system that's going to clip through the region from British Columbia because we're on the very edge of it, and that was why we're going to have some breezy conditions on Saturday. So gusty winds, low relative humidity, high temperatures. Saturday, things could get a little dicey, and if anything gets going, especially out in the Columbia Basin, wow, watch out. It could just take off before you know it. So mind your P's and Q's on Saturday. Mind some P's and Q's everywhere, as a matter of fact. Common sense there. From the National Weather Service, that way if you don't like the weather, you can blame the government. Sunny today, the wind will be out of the west, about 6 to 14 miles an hour, switching to a northerly wind later on, but it's going to be quite warm, high of 94 degrees, so about 6 degrees warmer than we saw yesterday. And we'll see these overnight lows very mild, 66 for the overnight low. We pop up another degree, maybe even 2 on Friday. Saturday, as this system comes through that we talked about, going to really kick up the wind. It's going to knock the temperature down a little bit, but it's going to be very windy at times on Saturday. And Saturday night too. That is why they have issued that fire weather watch on Saturday. No wind on Sunday with a high of 92. Monday 93 for our nation's birthday, 96. Back to work Wednesday 98. Lots of sunshine, lots of warm temperatures, windy on Saturday. At your forecast, 6 minutes after the hour. It was a busy day in the newsroom. If you don't take my word for it, we'll prove it to you in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
JDSA Law is a proud sponsor of these local event broadcasts. JDSA Law has been serving North Central and Eastern Washington since 1946. For over 70 years, their team of dedicated professionals has delivered quality, innovative legal services. JDSA Law partners with you to provide the finest legal advice and support as you navigate your personal and business challenges, your risks, and your accomplishments. JDSA Law supports the TV broadcasts of these local community events.
So, how's Evan?
Well, he's all grown up now, but I worry about him.
So many dangers in the world. COVID, the environment, the opioid epidemic.
Yeah, I hear opioid misuse is on the rise.
I don't even know how to start a conversation with him.
This might help. GetTheFactsRx.com. There's a whole section on how to talk about opioids with your family.
Offer support, not judgment. Cool.
Talk to your family about the dangers of opioids. Visit GetTheFactsRx.com.
Experience memories that will last forever on a Sunchaser pontoon boat from Bob File Boats and Motors. If you're looking to get out fishing with your buddies or just enjoying time on the water with friends, a Sunchaser pontoon boat is a great choice. Owning a Sunchaser is more than just an incredible feeling of freedom and exhilaration. It's about taking that indulgence to the next level. See the full line of Sunchaser pontoon boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
A mild 72 degrees here in the Wenatchee Valley. We'll be into the 90s right through the next 7, 8, 10 days under the influence of high pressure with some significant wind on Saturday means that we have a fire weather watch for Saturday for most of our viewing area. It's 9 minutes after the hour. Investigators probing into the fatal shootings that happened just outside the Gorge Amphitheater. Of course, that left an engaged couple dead and 3 others were wounded. Well, the investigators say they've conducted 18 witness interviews and they're scheduling more. The incident is being reviewed by the North Central Washington Special Investigation Unit. That's based here in Wenatchee because it involves the use of force by a Moses Lake police officer who intervened and shot the suspect. 26-year-old James M. Kelly, he's charged with the murders of Brandy Escamilla and Jocelyn Ruiz. They were a Seattle couple who planned to get married. The SIU's spokesperson is Wenatchee Police Captain Brian Chance, and he says detectives are also reviewing video evidence, including body-worn camera footage from the Moses Lake Police Department and other law enforcement agencies. Kelly is set to be arraigned, by the way, in Grant County Superior Court next Wednesday. The man accused of driving the suspect away from the scene of an East Wenatchee homicide is now free on his own recognizance. Juan Carlos Vasquez Hernandez of Kuntz, he had been held in the Chelan County Jail since his arrest after the April 17th killing of 23-year-old Elias Mora Ontiveros. Police believe Mora was gunned down by Eric Ferreras Reyes, who then left the scene in a van driven by Vasquez, only to be captured a couple of days later at a Wenatchee motel. Vasquez initially faced a charge of complicity to second-degree murder, but the count was later reduced to rendering criminal assistance. Douglas County prosecutors on Wednesday recommended the release of Vasquez ahead of a scheduled trial that will be held in August. Ferreras is likely to face trial on a charge of murder 1 month later. Voters in Chelan and Douglas counties, you'll be heading to the polls in November with another thing on to decide about, a tax levy that funds the Regional Port Authority. The port is proposing a unified levy that would amount to about 16.2 cents per $100,000 of a property's assessed value in both the counties that it serves. Now, currently, property owners in Chelan County pay 17 cents. In Douglas County, it's 13 cents. Port commissioners voted unanimously in favor of the plan. On Tuesday, Douglas County commissioners have voiced their opposition to the higher rate proposed for the homeowners who live in Douglas County. The levy question will appear on the November ballot. Motorists parking in the downtown core of Wenatchee, well, you're going to have to pay closer attention to the time. Last week, the Wenatchee City Council approved an ordinance that shortens the time limits on parking from 3 hours down to 2 hours. It also makes it easier for the city to change parking limits in the future. Administrative Services Director Laura Gloria said the change, which takes effect on August 1st, was requested by the Wenatchee Downtown Association.
The request was to help with turnover. There's lots of folks who are maybe overstaying their time, or there's been issues where employees are parking there long term. So the hope is to change it down to 2 hours to have it still be accessible for folks who want to come in downtown, have a bite to eat, do a little shopping. But again, it's supposed to keep that turnover going in for all the stores downtown. And then at the same time, we started to look at all of our parking codes, and in an effort to streamline them, we also have some additional recommendations in this ordinance. The first one is to give the Public Works Director, in consultation with the Chief of Police and as approved by the Mayor, the ability to make future changes to parking limits. Right now, we would come to City Council with an ordinance or resolution that can be a little clunky sometimes to keep track of them. It can also take a little extra time, and when there are safety needs, we need to be able to move with that quickly.
At his last meeting as the interim superintendent of the Wenatchee School District, Bill Eagle presented the Wenatchee School Board with the latest proposal for a site for a softball field for the Wenatchee High School girls fast-pitch softball team. The need for the field comes after a Title IX complaint alleged unequal treatment between male and female athletes, so the district set aside $4 million to resolve the complaint. Eagle presented Triangle Park as the best option for a new softball field due to the close proximity to the high school, access to water, electricity, parking, and the potential use of an existing structure that's already on the property. Eagle went over the potential plans for the field and the need to make sure that the area works for various community organizations.
This is in an upper corner of the park. This location actually was the site of a field in the past. In fact, the gray building you see in the photo just behind the softball field was at one time the press box, the concession stand, and the restroom area for the field that was located on this property in that area. in the past. So right now, we use that for storage for some M&O items, and it gets used once a year when the Kiwanis host their pancake breakfast on site. But we could do some restoration and make use of that structure again if this indeed becomes the location that we settle on. It's a good site for the field, but it also involves some additional work to ensure that we have soccer fields available and space for middle school football. So this is also a space that gets used a lot by the community. And for that reason, as we've explored this area as an option, Dr. Kalahar and I have spoken not only to our architects and some potential project managers, but also with Mayor Frank Kuntz about this area because of the community use. We've spoken with Darcy Christopherson from the Apple Blossom Festival about the impacts of a field on this location to community use for apple blossom. I've reached out to Manny Rivas, who runs the local soccer groups that make a large use of this area. And I also spoke with the organizer of Fiestas Mexicanas celebration because they've used this area as well to make sure they understand the spot we're looking at and implications for their use of the other areas in this park. And throughout those conversations, it still looks like the park is open for the community use that has been going on there moving forward if we locate the softball field in the corner that you saw from the rendering.
Finally, this morning, the Grant County Transit Authority has been awarded $3.3 million in clean energy grants for transit use. Senators Maria Cantwell and Patty Murray announced over $59 million in funding for 6 counties in our state. They made that announcement yesterday. The senators say the grants will help provide cleaner and more reliable transportation to residents while saving local transit agencies a lot of money. The Washington State Department of Transportation will use the funds to buy transit vehicles and a bus washing system for Grant County. The funding comes from the Federal Transit Administration grants for buses and bus facilities and low and no emission vehicle programs, which are supported by the infrastructure law. That's the news at 16 minutes after the hour. It's been a busy news week. I have the feeling that today will be no exception to that. You want to find out what the heck's going on in the Wenatchee Valley, North Central Washington? We invite you to watch our news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on TV. 5, 6, and 10. If that doesn't work for your schedule, it's up and running on our YouTube page, our Facebook page, and our homepage right around 5 o'clock, so you can watch it at your own convenience. If there's something out there that demands our attention, well, get a hold of us so we know. Email us, call us, drop us a line via our Facebook page. We'd love to hear from you. 17 minutes after the hour, Mariners. Oh, man, what's going on here? Apple Sox, walk-off win, and baseball history last night. Sports in 2 minutes. You're watching baseball. You're watching, what show is this, Uriah? Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Coastal is celebrating 60 years, and we have you to thank for it. Stop by today for everything your country needs for the perfect summer. Whether you're camping and kayaking or spending time in your own backyard, Coastal has it all. From clothing and gear to pet food, footwear, coolers, grills, and more. The great outdoors is calling, and Coastal is celebrating. Stop by, scan the QR code, or enter online to win big prizes during our 60th anniversary. Visit Coastal today, or find us online at coastalcountry.com.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill, located in East Wenatchee. Highlander Golf Course has added 2 state-of-the-art full swing simulators. Food and drink service is available from our full-service bar and grill, offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Indoor and outdoor seating available. Paul Shalane, our on-site coordinator, to schedule your special event.
You are ready to earn your BSN degree, and we know you need a special place to take the next step in your career. You are an engaged learner who needs modern labs and equipment, hands-on support, and small class sizes. You're a busy adventurer who needs trees, mountains, rivers, and trails. As a learner, as a future RN, as an adventurer, find it in the BSN program at Wenatchee Valley College.
19 minutes after the hour of sports, the Nationals take the series from the Mariners. They won yesterday afternoon 4-1 at T-Mobile Park. The damage was done early off Mariners starter Logan Gilbert. The rangy right-hander gave up a 3-spot in the first inning. Seattle bats once again silenced. The Mariner hitters struck out 11 times and got just 6 hits.
And he will line one to right center. Lane Thomas, late start, gets around to score, and the throw into second, tag eluded, and it's another one for the doubles machine. And he will get a base hit out to right center. Garcia home, Candelario around. The line is moving all over T-Mobile Park, and the Nats have a 3-spot already.
Dominic Smith hits this fair into the corner and trouble. Ruiz making his way to third. Teoscar having to dig it out. Ruiz being waved home. Caballero's throw to the plate is not in time. He's out. He is out. He is out at home plate. Ruiz slams his helmet down. Davey Martinez comes out. Was the umpire saying that he was too far away?
Yeah, out of the baseline.
Wow, I don't know about that.
And you might see an epic display here from Davey Martinez, the manager, but straight away you see obviously the throw beat him. Throws a little bit offline. You see Tom Murphy out of the lane right here, making sure he clears the lane, but
Davey Martinez just got tossed, and he's getting his money's worth now. Well, he was clearly safe, but the home plate umpire saying that he was out of the base path. I haven't seen that at home plates.
And Vargas goes to left field. This runner should score with no problem whatsoever.
Stay on the line, Dom. Stay on the line.
Ball gets behind Moore, and the Nats lose a runner at the plate, and right back in your face, they go to lead 4-0.
This time Caballero smokes a high fastball. Gone! Home run! And the Mariners get a bolt of life all of a sudden. He was able to get on top of that pitch and ride it out. That was smokes.
Now look at that, 19 degrees on the launch angle. Welcome to the big leagues, Mr. Willingham. I know you throw 98. It's deceptive. I'm sure it's got plenty of spin. But you know what, Jose Caballero saying, I don't care if it's your debut. A little bit of life, a little bit of spark here in the 8th inning.
Buddy, I would say he was the swing and a miss, and the Nats have done it again.
A disappointed Scott Service stated the obvious. Mariners got to get runners on the bases, and then they got to drive them in.
A couple days, obviously, haven't played good baseball, bottom line. And today you go out in a game, you try to wipe the slate clean from, disappointment last night, and they jump on us early, and, really hard to, we failed to get any momentum going, and that usually, you're down early, you got to figure out a way to get back into it. At the first third, that one inning, and weren't able to do anything with that. Logan, I actually thought Logan threw the ball okay today. The Nationals put the bat on the ball, and they do, and they don't strike out a ton, and they found some holes in the first inning. You look up and you're down 3, and trying to fight uphill there. Poor offensive day. You can't say anything more about it. Corbin has had his ups and downs coming into the game. You're hoping you can do something against him. We did nothing against him. They beat us. Disappointing series, and no question about it.
Yeah, no question about it. Tom Murphy led the Mariners. He went 3 for 3 at the plate. Jose Caballero, it was his 3rd home run of the season. No baseball today. They host the best team in baseball, the team with the best record anyway, Tampa Bay. 7:10 on Root Sports Northwest for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Houston scored 5 runs in the 8th inning on a 3-run home run by Jose Altuve and a 2-run shot by Jose Abreu, and it came from behind to beat the Cardinals. The final there was 10-7. The Rangers pounded out 14 hits, including 3 home runs. They beat the Tigers 10-2. Selby Zalva hit 2 solo home runs. The White Sox beat the Angels 11-5. Chicago had 17 hits in the game, And Eric writes the scripts, and the Eric script says, we don't like to show Yankee highlights. Well, I have no problem with it, quite frankly. Perfection last night for Domingo Germán last night in Oakland.
Grounded to third. Donaldson has it. There it is. Perfection for Domingo Germán. Domingo Germán has thrown the 24th perfect game in baseball history. The 4th perfect game in Yankees history. And you will always remember where you were June 28th of 2023.
Did I mention that I had a really good Wednesday night? I did, didn't I? I did. I mentioned that. And a really good Wednesday night for the Wenatchee Apple Sox. Very exciting game at Paul Thomas Senior Field. They walked it off against the lefties, 3-2. The teams traded 2 spots in the 6th inning. They were tied in the 9th. And that's when Josh Williams comes through with a game-winning grounder to the right side of the infield. On last night's win, it's our good buddy, Stormin' Joel Norman.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox got back on the winning track with a 3-2 victory against the Port Angeles Lefties on Wednesday night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Wenatchee scored a walk-off run in the bottom of the 9th inning with the bases loaded. Josh Williams batted a ball over toward the right side that was thrown away and allowed for the winning run to score with 1 out.
Williams batting with the bases loaded. 1 out. He hits this ball to the right side. This should bring in the winning run, and it will. A throwing error there from Roberto Nunez, and Wenatchee walks it off with a 3-2 victory here tonight at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Williams running away from everyone out toward left field, all the way from first base. And he is able to be mobbed by the Apple Sox and gets the Gatorade bath as Wenatchee picks up the win to even up the series in walk-off fashion.
The Apple Sox earned their 3rd walk-off victory of the season already. In the previous 2 seasons, they had combined to walk off opponents just 2 times, but got it done once again at home. Another great effort on the mound from the Apple Sox. Hunter Gibson got it started with 2 runs allowed in 6 innings. He did not allow any runs until the final 2 outs of the 6th inning were recorded. He would exit after that in his final outing of the summer. Evan Canfield went the rest of the way, and he earned the win. 3 shutout and hitless innings with 4 strikeouts and just 1 walk issued. The Apple Sox will face the lefties again on Thursday night in a rubber match at 6:35 p.m. And it's very important because the Bellingham Bells lost on Wednesday night, and now Wenatchee is just 1 game back of Bellingham, with the first half quickly coming to a close. It will come to a conclusion next week on Thursday, as the Apple Sox are very much still in the hunt to win the first half North Division title. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you, Joel. Nick Putman, by the way, went 3 for 3. At the plate, Reeve Boyd was 1 for 4. He scored the game-winning run. Evan Canfield's 3 innings of scoreless relief gets him the victory. Wenatchee Port Angeles, their rubber match tonight, 6:35. You can hear the game with Joel on Sunny FM. All right, to the West Coast League scoreboard, as Joel already mentioned, Bellingham losing to Edmonton last night, 5-4. Their 6-game winning streak comes to an end. We like that. Other winners yesterday, Victoria knocked off Kelowna. Nanaimo walked their way to a victory over Yakima Valley. Portland all over Kamloops, 15-2. Corvallis knocked off Springfield 4-1. Cowlitz in a football score beat Walla Walla 17-4, and Bend over Ridgefield 5-3. So as far as the standings are concerned, we like this. Wenatchee trails Bellingham by just a game heading into tonight in the North Division standings at the West Coast League. Victoria remains a game back of Wenatchee. They're 16-8. Kelowna 5.5 games out of first place. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this 29th day of June. I could have chosen for the obscure holiday. I didn't, but in case you want to celebrate National Waffle Iron Day, you are certainly more than welcome to do so. It's National Almond Butter Crunch Day. It's International Mud Day. It's National Parchment Day, National Handshake Day. But no, today we come into focus. Everything comes into focus today, because today is National Camera Day. Today, about 1 trillion photos, over 1 trillion photos, they think, are taken every year. I'm no expert, but that's a lot of photos. Of course, the big game changer, the guy who did it all, George Eastman, he didn't invent the camera, but he made the camera better and affordable for the masses. So everybody could go out and get a camera and take halfway decent pictures. Thank you, George. And of course, the big game changer, from film to digital in the 1980s, and then the even bigger game changer. Okay, if we're going to have digital film, digital photography, we need to have a standard type of file, and that's where, of course, JPEGs came in. So it didn't matter what kind of digital camera you had, everybody was taking the photos in the same format. And then out came the Nikon D1, which was the game changer, because it was a digital camera, but you could use your old lenses from your old analog film camera, and they would work just fine on your digital camera. Take a photo today. It's amazing how good you can take a photograph nowadays without knowing what the heck you're doing. It's National Camera Day today. It is the bottom of the hour. Today in history, Joltin' Joe did it. 82 years ago today, June 29, 1941, is a doubleheader down in Washington, D.C. Joe DiMaggio ties the American League record for consecutive games with at least one hit in the first game, and then he broke it in the second game. It was the old record was 41, established by George Sisler, a double off Dutch Leonard in the first game, and then a seventh-inning base hit against Walt Masterson in the second game. And by this time, all of America, not just baseball fans and sports fans, but everybody in America was following Joe DiMaggio's amazing hitting streak. And by the way, this is going to go on now for at least a couple more weeks. That was 82 years ago today. Happy 67th birthday to that. The Interstate Highway System, the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1956, is signed into law by Dwight D. Eisenhower, so the United States interstate system was born on this date. It's if you drive every inch of it, you will drive 46,876 miles. Every state, of course, owns its portion of the interstate highway. They are in charge of upkeep, in charge of law enforcement, in charge of maintaining the highway within the borders of each state. So even though it's the interstate highway system, each individual state gets to decide that. Even the speed limits, until, of course, the oil crisis in the early 1970s, when all 50 states had to change their speed limit, their maximum speed limit, to 55 miles an hour. We all remember, if you're old enough like I am, we all remember the 55 mile an hour speed limit. That was the speed limit when I had my driver's license back in the day. And they put a clause in that law that said if you do not lower your maximum speed limit to 55 miles an hour, the federal government ain't going to give you no more money to maintain your highway. So they all did. Those red, white, and blue shields that you see when you drive on the interstate highway system, those are actually copyrighted. Yeah, they're copyrighted by the American Association of State Highway Officials. Do they give money? I don't know. Anyway. The longest stretch of the interstate highway system, longest continuous stretch, I-90, obviously, from Boston to Seattle or the other way around. It's 3,020 miles. The shortest stretch is a section of the interstate highway system in Laredo, Texas. It's 1.5 miles long, but it's its own highway number. And the largest city in America that is not serviced by the interstate highway system. Do you know what it is? It's a big city. Fresno. Fresno, California has no direct, the interstate highway system does not go through or anywhere near Fresno, California. Kind of odd. 52 years ago today, Soyuz 11, 3 members on board. They were getting ready. They were in space. They were getting ready to start the process of re-entering the Earth's atmosphere, and their cabin depressurized, and they suffocated to death in a matter of about 2 seconds. They remain, to this day, the 3 cosmonauts on this date, 1971, they remain the only humans to die in space. That was on this date, 1971. And 28 years ago today, the Champong department store in Seoul, South Korea, which was built cheaply, and they cut corners, and the original contractor said these blueprints are going to cause this building to collapse. The owner didn't care. He fired the contractor, brought in his own people. They built it cheap. They built it wrong. They put massive air conditioning units on the roof of the building that couldn't handle it. Early in the morning of June 29, 1995, they had an emergency meeting and said, this building is going to collapse. The owner of the building and the owner of the department store said, I got 2,000 people in my store. I want the money. Nah, we'll be fine. Nothing will happen. And then it collapsed, and 501 people died. Almost 1,000 people were injured. That's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to go to the department store and get crushed to death. That was on this date in 1995, only 5 years after the building opened for business. It is 33 minutes after the hour, and let's do a couple of birthdays. I met this guy when they were in town in the early 90s shooting that god-awful movie, Surviving the Game. I met all the stars. One of the early scenes involving Ice-T when he was a homeless guy going through the homeless shelter getting food. That was shot in the basement of the building where my record store was, so I got to meet F. Murray Abraham and Ice-T and Rutger Hauer and all those guys. And I got to meet Gary Busey, and he's one odd duck. But the Buddy Holly story, which is full of inaccuracies, but he is great in the Buddy Holly story. He got an Oscar nomination for Best Actor for playing Buddy Holly in the Buddy Holly story. The movie is okay. It's full of inaccuracies, but Gary Busey was like Buddy Holly for that 98 minutes of that movie. Gary Busey is 79 years old today. Somebody should probably tell him, by the way, if you know Gary, call him up, remind him it's his birthday. And happy 41st birthday to Colin Jost. He's been on Saturday Night Live for the last 18 years. Married to Scarlett Johansson, has a couple of kids, but of course he hasn't been on TV because of the writers' strike. He's 41 years old today. Still to come, an opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty. Get well soon, Mike, by the way. We love you. You know that. My conversation with Kaylee Boggs, who is in charge of the fireworks on Tuesday night at the Spit at Walla Walla Point Park. Love talking to Kaylee. She'll be joining me as well. But first things first, Hugh the dog needs a home. It's Pause for Pets.
Hi, I'm Coralie with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. I'm an animal care coordinator here. So I get to spend my days with adorable little guys like this. This is Hugh. He's our 4-year-old black lab mix. He's a really friendly guy, just, a really solid kind of family dog. Moderate energy, loves his time outside. So if you have a yard, that is ideal. That's a huge plus. He just loves to spend time, laying beside you and getting belly rubs. Just a cuddly, nice guy. We love him. He seems to prefer female dogs, but he does get along well with males also. He's just a little more selective. And also, something special we're doing that I don't think we've done before. Saturday and Sunday between 11 and 2, we are opening up our play yards to you to come and watch our guys play with each other. And it's actually, even as one of the staff, it's our favorite thing to do, is to come and watch these guys play. And so we're hoping then you get more of an opportunity to see what they're like with other dogs and just get more of a sense of their personalities. So we'll be setting up chairs and we'll have refreshments. So come join us this weekend. If you'd like to come down and meet Hugh, we are open all day between 11 and 6 p.m. Thursday through Tuesday.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
VreeMotion e-bikes is rolling out its new line of Aventon e-bikes. Come in today and save $300 on the top-selling Aventon Adventure. VreeMotion is Central Washington's home for affordable e-bikes, located in the Mills Brothers building in downtown Wenatchee.
It has really been a great partnership between Succession and NCW Life. It's not always easy to sit in front of a camera or a microphone, but you guys have made it a really nice process.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
When Mike leaves town, It's a little scary. You never know who might be outside. But we feel safer inside knowing our home is being monitored by a local company. I can check our alarm from just about anywhere, so when we get home, I know it's safe.
Protect your family and save money with a local company. Switch your current security monitoring to Guardian Services from LocalTel. Call Guardian Security from LocalTel now or visit localtel.net to learn more.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor. Naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
It's the 44th annual Manson 4th of July fireworks show over Manson Bay on Lake Chelan, one of the largest fireworks displays in the Northwest. Join the fun all day long. Visit Manson wineries, breweries, cideries, and restaurants. Dance by the lake with the Lake Boys starting at 7 until the fireworks blast off at 10:15. 4th of July fireworks over Lake Chelan, brought to you by Antonio's Landscaping and Rock Walls and the Manson Chamber of Commerce.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, there's been a good deal of discussion about school protection, and maybe, just maybe, this time we'll see some positive action. However, we need to get past these knee-jerk emotional reactions, stop pointing fingers at those who we think are to blame, and stop once and for all, stop waiting for the government to act. Banning bump stocks now may possibly have some deterrence on a school shooting in the future, but let's face it, such an action is merely a pacifier to political correctness, which will do nothing now to prevent or deter the next school shooting. So let's get real, folks. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Are you caught in a conflict with a family member, in the workplace, or with a neighbor or business? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on topics like conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us at 509-888-0957 or www.wvdrc.org to learn more.
I chose a career at Confluence South because I wanted to help people, and I knew there would be opportunities for growth. I started as a medical assistant, but quickly advanced in my career. I received 5 promotions in only 7 years, 3 of those in management roles. Most organizations don't offer that type of growth. Now, as a career pathway coordinator, I let everyone know. Come join Confluence South. Come grow with us.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new midsize Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee provides financial services for independent-minded clients working to secure their futures. Whether it's helping construct your personal financial, retirement, or estate plan, they start with a disciplined approach and straightforward advice. An individualized approach is rooted in the values, stability, and strength their company was founded on in 1935. With offices coast to coast and personal attention you deserve right here in the Wenatchee Valley, learn more about D.A. Davidson.
It's a tradition as old as the country itself. We all gather together on Independence Day, 4th of July, and we celebrate America's birthday by blowing up a small portion of it. Of course, fireworks are now completely illegal, almost within our entire viewing area, which is why we leave it to the professional, like the lovely Ms. Boggs here. Introduce yourself again to our TV family.
Hello, I am Kylie Boggs. I am the head pyrotechnician on the 4th of July Independence Day fireworks show, as well as various other shows in our valley.
So, first questions first. July 4th, about 10 minutes after 10. Mm-hmm. What are we going to see? Give me anything new, anything, what do we got?
Well, we are back on the island this year, a little different, little shift from last year. We were able to repair it. The PUD was very nice and went out and fixed it for us. And we will be performing with the big band again this year. So you can look forward to that. I haven't got the music for it yet, so we'll all be surprised.
There will be the big finale. There always is. It's
Mm-hmm.
spectacular. Is there a lot of coordination and choreography between the live music that's going to be played here at the park and what you're doing? How does that work?
Yeah, so one of the benefits of our show, the way we shoot, is live with the music. So what we'll do is go through the scores that the musicians give us and say like, oh, I really want this effect here. I really, we have a giant cymbal crash or a giant like drum lead up to something. Like, let's put something cool there. So it's kind of plug and play as far as what we do.
But you also have to time out the fact that you're shooting off the fireworks from the spit, and it takes an X amount of time to get up to the elevation it needs to be, and then it explodes. That's all got to be factored in there, right?
Yes, yeah. So it is all done by a person. It is not done on a computer. So we actually I will have the scripts, and we'll actually be timing out. And I've got a lot of musicians in my group, so we just count the music and keep going.
Is there a general rule of thumb on latency from the time you light the fuse until the time it explodes up in the sky 300 or 400 feet in the air? Or is every firework different?
So it depends on the size of the firework. So we shoot anything from a 1/2 inch to a 6 inch here. And it's a very complicated equation to figure it out your first couple times, and then afterwards you just kind of feel it. So
how much time do you put? I mean, this is probably the biggest one you do, right? You do Apple Sox games, you do other events, you do fairs and things like that, and other activities with your pyrotechnic show. How many man hours goes into putting all of this together between you and your staff and your volunteers going out on the spit lane? How many hours you put in?
Well, we're going to start on Wednesday, and then we normally do morning and evening groups, just so we allow my crew to get out of the sun for the hottest part of the day. A couple of us have already had heat strokes, so we don't need to do that again. But yeah, usually we do 5 or 6 days for a build, so it's comfortable for my crew, and also we know we have enough.
It's a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time, and it's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you go through all of that stuff, and then it's all over in 25 minutes. It's like you plan and you plan and you plan and you work. And then before you know it, it kind of sounds like my honeymoon, kind of think of it. Do you actually get to do the show? I mean, you're working.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that like to put off this incredible show of fireworks above the Columbia River and you don't get to watch it?
I mean, we kind of do from the best seat in the house because we're directly under it. So I have about 6 people that are out on the island with me during the event, and they're on fire watch, or they're making sure that everything is going correctly. We don't have any issues. We don't have people trying to come onto the island. It's a big one. The rafters always try and get the best seat in the house. Honestly, I haven't had any of my group complain about not being able to see them because of how close we are.
And it should be pointed out, yeah, it's great to see it from the hills that surround the Wenatchee Valley, being right here, right below them as they go off. You get that acoustic concussion that goes through your body.
Yeah.
And you're as close as you can get to them.
Yeah. It's hard to describe.
It is, it's hard to describe. Especially when that first one goes off and you go, okay.
Yes, yeah. So my first year out on the island, back before I was licensed, when I was a volunteer, because I started as a volunteer with this group, we had an effect that we call concussions. It's kind of an apt name. But it's just an effect that's sound. It doesn't actually create a pretty show in the air. But I was running the board for the first time that year, and I hit that first concussion, and just the impact of that one, it was like, and do the next one, and do the next one. And then, after the first couple, you're like, oh, okay, this is supposed to feel like this.
Is there anything new in the world of pyrotechnic fireworks, the professional stuff that you do? Do they bring in new kinds of things and they retire ones that aren't so popular anymore? How does that work?
Yes. So Roman candles are not our friend anymore because they catch fire so easily. You will have a hard time finding a professional show that continues to use Roman candles. Yeah, we use all kinds of different effects. Are constantly being made. They're manufactured all over the world. So China has actually stopped being a manufacturer for fireworks. They do not create anymore because of the high risk that it is in their warehouses. But Mexico is starting to be quite a large hub. We have some gentlemen in Iowa and I think a gentleman in Wyoming that we get some product from. So all over the place.
Do fireworks have names? In other words, how do you know what any particular firework is going to do if you've never lit it off before?
So every firework has a description on it. And if you're the person building that firework, you know what it's going to do. But we get all of our products pre-done here. It's just safer, and we also don't have the time to build. But yeah, we have, all of my crew has a favorite effect. So we have, like, Devin, I think she loves the palm tree with crackling coconuts is what it's called. And it's just, whoever creates it can call it whatever they want, but it's a description. And we have comets, we have arcades, we have all kinds of different things. My favorite is so simple, but it's the bees. And it goes up and it just spurts, and then you've got little ones that just shoot in different directions after it breaks. And yeah.
How do you know you did a good job if you're a performer and you work at the New America Performing Arts Center when you're not here?
Yeah.
How do you mean, at the end of a good show, people stand up and applaud. It doesn't really work when you're out in the spit 300 yards from everybody.
Oh, it really does, though.
Does?
Yeah, okay. No, it sounds amazing because there's just a moment of silence at the end of the show, and then you actually hear the crowd. So it's that moment of like, and yes. Yeah, so it's kind of goosebumps, especially for my newer people that come out on the island because they don't know what to expect. Right. So, yeah.
We're almost out of time, so before I cut you loose, again, your crew is going to be doing the applesauce game on Monday, July 3rd, and then here at the park for the big day on Independence Day, which this year, by the way, falls on July 4th. For you fans who are really into the professional pyrotechnic show that you and your crew put on, what else you got going on down the hopper so they can check it out?
We are also doing an event in Crescent Bar on the 1st.
Okay. So split crew there.
Yes. So we'll have...
No. First, that's...
We still have
Friday.
To split the crew because some of them have to stay and keep working on the 4th.
I understand. So Crescent Bar on the 1st, Applesauce 3rd, here on the 4th.
Yeah, and then we all go back to our day jobs. And yeah, we at the Performing Arts Center, we are doing the Hot August Nights production of Kinky Boots right now. So we're building that currently. So
what do you do? I know this is stupid. This will be our last question. I'll cut you loose. What do you do this? Why do you like to do this?
I like doing it because I've been doing it so long, and I know the way my crew does it is safe, and it's such a good event for the community. It's such a wonderful thing for our valley to be able to do. You can see it from almost anywhere in the valley, so everyone gets to enjoy it. So
I've seen Kylie working with the crew. You keep them on the straight and narrow, don't you? Because you can't screw up. There's no margin for error here.
No. We have a lot of fun in what we do. That's why my volunteers keep coming back. But it's dangerous work. It's very serious work. But it's worth it.
It is worth it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, and have a good time on the 4th.
Yes.
And here's hoping your fire watchers have nothing to do.
Yes.
That's always our goal. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Badger Mountain Brewery is your cure for boredom. Jam Night Mondays. Trivia Wednesdays. Live Music Fridays. And Sunday Brunch. There's always something brewing at Badger Mountain, so come join the party.
The Wenatchee Valley. Here, most of us really enjoy the great outdoors, and most of us try to make the most of our natural resources. Here at Apple Valley Honda, we know that for generations, we have harnessed nature to sustainably power the West, and we are proud to be part of that tradition as an environmentally green dealership award winner. Being a green dealership means Apple Valley Honda has reduced our overall environmental impact. We are so proud to live in this wonderful community.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set. These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
All right, already 73 degrees here in the big city. In fact, we're leading the temperature parade right now. Around our viewing area, down south in Ellsberg's at 70, Ephrata 72, Moses Lake 70, Manson 69, so we're the warm spot. And we're going to be the warm spot too. Little leery about Saturday. We'll get to that in just a little bit, but we have a little bit of time, and we'd love to take our tour around our area with our Sky-Fi towers and our PTZ cameras, so what the hey? Let's do it again. A lot of people say this is the highlight of the show. They watch the first 3 minutes to look at these incredible views that we can provide to our viewers, and then they switch over to another show. Always makes me feel good. Good morning to the Valley from our Wenatchee Heights camera. I had a great time talking to Kylie, by the way. That was a lot of fun. And Kylie has given permission for a couple of our content producers to actually go out on the spit on Tuesday night to film them as they actually shoot off the fireworks. That's going to be cool. Can't wait to see that footage. Good morning to Wenatchee and East Wenatchee, USA. Are we using the same? I don't know what Uriah's picking here. Let's just find out. Oh, okay. That is, I'm going to guess that's the Wenatchee River. The camera is, I don't know. Oh, that's the Hay Canyon camera. So that's the Wenatchee River flowing in the general area of Kashmere, Washington. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. And camera, way to switch this up for me, Uriah. I like this. Makes me guess, makes me work hard, which I really need to do. Where are we going to next, Uriah? Ooh, okay, well, that's the monitor camera. That's also one of my favorite. They're all good cameras. We don't have a bad camera out there. What's the point of that? Good morning to our friends in the monitor area. Look at all the peaches growing, the pears growing. That's going to make Cal Fitzsimmons happy. He's a nut about pears, just loves them, can't eat enough of them. And the cherries and stuff. Cherry harvest, I think, is in full swing right now as we speak. At least I see a lot of folks out there harvesting cherries. And next up on our tour, a hazy view of, I want to say that's the Tumwater Canyon camera. Is that Leavenworth we're looking at? Okay, that is Leavenworth. Good morning to Leavenworth. Look like a few high clouds. We didn't have any clouds this morning. We had a beautiful sunrise, just spectacular. Just enough high clouds to have that sun reflect off. It was all salmon, peach kind of colored. Gorgeous sunrise this morning. Of course, we're up early enough to look at the sunrise. There is a little bit of something out there on Saturday that's got the folks at the National Weather Service concerned. So they went ahead and opted to be prudent, and they have issued a fire weather watch for the area that you see on your screen for Saturday morning to Saturday night. 3 things have to happen: windy conditions, high temperatures, low relative humidity, and that is the recipe for a fire weather watch, and they have issued that. There's going to be a big high pressure system that's going to build over the western United States. We're going to be at the very top of it, the very northern edge of that high pressure dome, and that's going to allow a little weak disturbance. It's going to clip our region on Saturday, and that is why we're going to see the pressure gradients tighten up and the winds pick up. We're right at the very end, right at the very tip, as you see at the look at the map, of the fire weather watch geographic area. Most of it is really for the Columbia Basin and down south towards the Tri-Cities and the Yakima area, but we're not out of the woods yet, and certainly up the 97 corridor. So keeping a close eye on that. From the National Weather Service, here we go. Sunny. I think 94, I think we can call that hot. Yesterday's official high, by the way, was 89, so we can kiss that one goodbye. In fact, we're not going to see the 80s for quite some time for the afternoon high. It's going to be in the 90s. Friday, we're going to go 1 degree warmer than that at 95. As this little thing clips us, that we talked about on Saturday for that fire weather watch, it's also going to cool us down just a little bit, but not much, to 90 degrees on Saturday with windy conditions, as we'd already talked about. Wind will be gone by Sunday. Monday, 93, and for Independence Day, sunny and hot and 96. And that's it for us. Have a great Thursday. Get your weekend going with us tomorrow. Till then, bye-bye.
Can be found all over the world. That's me, Elizabeth, and today my friends Jesse LeBeau, Rob Pinkston, Mayada Walsh, and Garrett Clayton are going to discover what makes a great party. We'll kick up our heels at the Renaissance Fair in Los Angeles.
Bye-bye.
Then dress up to get down in southern Germany.
I feel so Bavarian. I mean, all I need is a pretzel. Oh!
After that, it's ancient Arabian fortress party in Dubai.
This is our table right here, so we have an awesome view of the show.
Before we put on our masks for the most exclusive masquerade ball at Carnival in Venice.
This has to be the most extreme, exclusive, and over-the-top ball I've ever seen.
It's a glimpse of some international festivals that you don't want to miss. So get ready to dress the part.
Okay, wait. Let's switch. Yeah, okay. No, that's more my color, right?
Yeah,
Oh gosh, you look amazing.